got up and we got hungry last night and ate the last of the bread. So we've got no breakfast, no milk, no cereal, no bread. The fridge, well, have a look in the fridge. It's almost empty. We've got to go shopping, but I've got to make breakfast. So I've managed to find a tin of baked beans in the back of the cupboard. Never be without a tin of baked beans on a boat. And fortunately, I got some eggs from the village yesterday. So we're going to break these eggs into the beans.
Have you ever done this before?
With mashed potato. Make something called eggy nest. We have a nest of mashed potato and egg in the middle of it. And guess which one I'm having and which one Rich is having. You get the big one today. And we're going to just pop them in the oven and bake them. And that's going to be breakfast.
I'm going to sprinkle some cheese on the top.
A little bit of cheese on the top. And yeah, we'll see what it comes out like. But that's all we've got.
Oh, just look at that picture of happiness. What's up, Arch? What's the matter? Want to go out?
Eggs a bit overcooked, methinks.
A little bit, but it's quite tasty. I don't mind it.
This is what happens. We're miles from a supermarket and we weren't very well organised, so...
It's a good job we're going shopping today, I think.
We have to go shopping, definitely.
Well, we're off for a little walk to go and pick up Percy, who's at Seoul Junction just ahead of us in the car park there, because yesterday he underwent some surgery.
Very traumatic it was too.
I reversed into a post and broke up the near side rear tail lights cluster, and it's been bugging me for weeks since I did it, and we finally got all the parts delivered. And I spent yesterday morning putting it right and fixing it up, so I'm really chuffed that that's done and dusted.
You've really been putting it off, haven't you?
Yeah.
We looked, as always, YouTube tells you everything you need to know about everything.
Yeah.
And people were telling us it's so easy to do, just take the old one out, put the new one in. But we know it's never that easy.
It never is.
And it wasn't, but you've been really, it's been like a big black cloud hanging over you, isn't it? And we've not wanted to go away. We've been a bit ashamed to have broken light on the back. Although it was working, but it was just a mess.
But now it's done, we're so chuffed, I'm really pleased.
Yeah.
And so yeah, just off for a little walk, pick him up, go shopping, come back. I've got to register at the doctor, so I've got all the paperwork for that finally sorted out. So it's ticking off new boxes.
Sorting out day, and as you saw from, or we'll see from the video, the cupboards on the boat are empty. I think we've got a cabbage and a couple of carrots.
A cup of soup maybe.
That is it. So while we've got the van, we're going to stock up well and truly. And then we've got some other sorting out to do later, I think, as well on the boat.
Yeah. So,
sort out day.
Yeah, well, come on, let's get on with it then, because I want a coffee and a cake. A little pond here, wildlife pond built by the students of Gloucester College. Ooh, look at that.
Oh, we'll be looking out for frog spawn here, I think.
That's cool.
There's bubbles in there, there's life in there.
Yeah. Mad chicken lady. Gotta love chickens. Well, here we are. Dirty Percy. Clean Percy, look at that. That's what I fitted, that whole unit there, including the lights. So You get out every time I'm reversing now, don't you? Just see me behind.
Absolutely.
Even though we've got the camera up there,
it doesn't show what's happening down there, though, does it?
And half the time it's so muddy, that camera, you can't see out the bloody thing, can you?
And of course we've got another problem now, because that's so white and clean. The van needs like really properly cleaning.
Might take it to the car wash at Tesco's today.
Yeah.
Well, I might not, because I might just leave that to dry, that rubber seal around that to dry properly.
That.
Happy, darling?
Yes, sort of. So I'm off for a really misty dog walk with Archie this morning. The boats are disappearing into the distance. The surrounding countryside has disappeared. But along this muddy towpath, look what I found. And this is a branch that's fallen off of the tree, and it was heavy with mistletoe. And you can see now where the mistletoe has grown out of the branch of the tree. It must have been there for some years to grow that thick. It just looks like it's part of the branch. Absolutely incredible. And I guess now that mistletoe is just going to die because the branch has come off the tree. Apparently mistletoe gets nutrients from the tree. It's only partially parasitic, so it makes its own energy, but it gets its nutrients from the tree. But sadly no longer. It's a cold, misty morning. I love that sound of the crows when they're cawing through the mist. I think it's even fog now. The scenery has disappeared. The village has disappeared. And we're cosy inside the boat. Fortunately, we don't have to move today. It's not really weather for moving. But we've got a tidy up day inside the boat. So just as well.
What are we up to, Fran?
Origami. We've spent the last hour folding up little pieces of paper in order to make little seed pots, because we want to grow a lot more food this year and a lot more plants, and we didn't want to buy plastic pots. So this not only saves on plastic, it's a use for our newspaper, and it's completely free. And once your little seedlings are up, you can just plant them straight away. The roots will grow out through the bottom. The paper rots down into the soil, into the compost. So it's brilliant. So I think we've made about 50 pots. It took us about an hour, didn't it, I think?
Well, listening to gardener's question time.
And we're getting quicker at it. So I thought I'd show you how to do this, because it's a brilliant little thing to do if you want to raise a few plants.
Right, pay attention.
So this is half of a sheet of the Times, of a big sheet of the Times, and that makes that sized pot. So you just fold it in half once, nice sharp creases. Fold it in half again, and then fold it in half a third time. We've got the royal family on these. These are royal plant pots.
Royal pots.
We did find that we were reading the paper as we were making them earlier. And then this is a little bit tricky, but you just open this top piece and make a triangle and fold that down. Okay? Fold this one over. And then do the same again with the other one. Okay, and then fold it back again. Whoops. So now these two wings fold into the middle, and they each fold twice. And the same that side. Turn it over. Do the same again, into the middle. And then the magic starts to happen. You fold the little triangle up and turn it over. fold it again. And then the 2 side flaps just come down. It all looks a bit random at the moment, but it's about to take shape. Don't worry about that little triangle, that's fine. And you just literally open this up, which makes a perfect square pot. Fold your little flaps in, and that holds it all in shape. And then once you pop your compost in there, it will just hold that, and it's really strong. Just a couple of layers on the bottom so the roots can grow through. So we're aiming to sow all sorts in there, peas and beans and carrots and all sorts of things, and then they can just pop straight into the soil. It's brilliant, and it's kept us quiet.
So other than that, I'm not sure what anybody else would want to use them for other than gardening. So if you're not a gardener, ignore that last 5-minute segment.
Yeah, we have thought, we just think there must be other uses for this, but we haven't found one. So there you go. Go and grow some seeds. And because we don't want to have 50 of these pots sitting around, before you open them up, we've just stacked them inside one pot. So these are all ready now just to open up and use. And tomorrow is going to be seed sowing day.
Well, we've been off radar for a couple of weeks. We've had this dreadful flu, whatever it is, flu stroke COVID, who knows, who cares? But it's been blooming awful, hasn't it?
I think a lot
terrible.
of people had it before Christmas, other people that we know, and we'd avoided everybody. Didn't go to pubs, didn't go anywhere. Went to see a family member and had lunch in the pub.
Yeah.
And came home with flu, didn't we?
It's been terrible 2 weeks. Really... We were just coming through the other end.
Yeah.
So that's why we've been a bit quiet. But we haven't been not busy, have we? We've been doing stuff, just not videoing.
We just couldn't stop coughing. Coughing the whole time. So, you know, we have been worn out. We've not even been going out for walks. We've been trying to keep busy indoors, haven't we? But I'm hoping we're coming out at the end of it now.
I think so.
It's been
just
really
about
rough.
there. Yeah, so normal service resumed as soon as possible.
A whole bottle of elderberry Rob got drunk. And that's not alcoholic, in case you're wondering.
I think it was getting alcoholic because it seemed to be fermenting a bit. It had that sweet twang about it, didn't
That's
it?
the first time I've known you to drink it.
Yeah, so it's been a nightmare, but never mind, we're okay.
Yeah.
And so we're back on it.
Yeah.
And what are you up to now? Making a wig?
I have been... Now you've given me an idea. No, I'm not doing that. We were lucky enough last June to get a whole load of alpaca wool from a boatyard, actually, a man at a boatyard. But I've not processed it from raw wool before now, and I've been a bit reluctant to have a go at it. But it's working out really nicely. I've woven my first scarf almost purely from my own processed alpaca. But it's a long process. After washing it, I've got to fluff it all up. And then I've got to run it through the carding machine and get all the fibres lined up. So the time involved in doing this is ridiculous. I think, I don't know, you can't cost things like that, can you?
You can't.
But it is also really relaxing. And while we were not well, to sit and do this and then spin was lovely. So you can see that the alpaca fluff at the moment is just all random. There's little lumps in it, and people do spin just from this, but it makes it very, very lumpy. The alternative is that you card it to line all the fibres up, and you can do it on these brushes and just brush like this to line all the fibres up in one go. But it can be a bit messy and it can take quite a long time. So Rich very kindly bought me this lovely machine last year, which was quite a few pennies, but it has been a complete game changer. So now I could just fluff the wool a little bit with my hands. You put it at one end, and it runs between two sets of teeth, which just literally line all the fibres up in the same direction. So all the wool, all the strands are laying one way, which means you can spin it easily. And the other great thing about this is that I use it to recycle all the scrap yarn, and I can turn all the ends and the wool trimmings off of the warps into new yarn on here as well. Mix it with a little bit of alpaca. This is with alpaca. So it's just brilliant. I can be so creative with it. And this is the last lot of alpaca that I spun after it had been through here. and it's so soft and lovely. And alpaca wool is really special because it doesn't have little hooky hairs which ordinary wool has, which is what makes lots of people itch. And alpaca is really, really soft. So yeah, good old alpacas. So there's the fluff, as I call it, all ready to go. Try and tease it all off of here. And there we go, all ready to spin. This coloured wool on the loom at the moment, which is from this alpaca, a little bit has got mixed in with this black one. I don't quite know what I'm going to make with that yet. Any suggestions? But I'm making some unisex scarves. Somebody asked if the scarves are suitable for men. Of course they are. Anybody can wear what they want to do, but I'm making a couple of perhaps more muted, simpler ones.
Man colours.
For the more manly people around. If I'm allowed to say that, I don't know. But yeah.
But we haven't been venturing out. We haven't been doing any cruising, particularly other than going to the water point and back. But we've got so much to see and do here. It's just aching to get out there and do it, aren't we?
We actually took the boat back down to Slimbridge because we really wanted to go and sit in the bird hide for a day. But because we were not well, it wasn't fair to other people.
No.
You can't sit in a bird hide with others if you're not well because you don't want to spread the germs. So we haven't done anything really, have we? But
we haven't even recorded a podcast because we couldn't stop coughing, so that was pointless. So we just sat and read and watched rubbish and read some more and watched some more rubbish. And you made marmalade, didn't you?
I've made some. Well, shall I tell the story? I bought too many marmalade oranges, which is fine, but then I forgot how big my pan is, and I don't have a massive big jam pan. So prepared all the oranges and all the peel was shredded. Then realised I had to do it in 2 batches because the pan is too small. Cooked one lot, put it aside without the sugar in, so it's just oranges and the peel all in a pan, and did the next lot. And you did the washing up the next morning, didn't you?
I did.
I think he thought it was just pan
I thought it was the pan soaking in water that ready for washing up.
Yeah, so then came to me and I was sitting there doing a lovely peaceful meditation on the sofa, and you said that pan was rubbish, wasn't it?
I chucked it out the window and then saw the marmalade peel. It was
yes.
so. Oops.
But nevertheless, we've still got 6 jars of marmalade from the other half, haven't we?
We have.
I might make some more because it is absolutely delicious, really is. And the marmalade oranges just came from the little tiny village shop. Sometimes you struggle to get those, but it's obviously a marmalade village at Frampton.
Well, that's about all we've got to say. We haven't got anything to report to speak of, so we'll get cruising, get doing stuff this week, and we'll catch up with you as soon as possible.
There is a blog about to go out as well. By the time this video's out, I think there will be a blog out as well. So
on floatingourboat.com.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and thanks to everybody that's bought a t-shirt, a mug, as per our previous video. Go here if you're interested in a Floating Our Boat mug.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
And we'll see you soon on our travels.
Ta-ra.
Bye.